If you haven't really been paying attention or following me on Twitch, you wouldn't know, but I have been on that casting grind, guys. Hello and welcome to episode 16 of the After Action Report. As always, my name is Shani Zade and I'm bringing you the latest and greatest news from COD Zade, otherwise known as the competitive Call of Duty scene in South Africa, as well as anything else that is going on with the current Call of Duty game, which obviously we all know we're still busy enjoying Black Ops 4 and we only have until we probably have until October, November to start worrying about what Infinity Ward's working on. But without a further ado, let us jump into it and let us chat about the game. Not much really has been going on in the game, if I'm entirely honest. Like nothing much new. The Grand Heist is still continuing as always, and that is introducing new content day in, day out. Obviously, everyone's enjoying the content. I'm seeing a lot of people grinding for their skins and the decals and all of the other stuff. Well, not the decals, but they're grinding towards the reserves and everything as well, especially now that they've fixed the time that it takes to earn reserves. I've also noticed now that League play is out that a lot of comp players are managing to grind through the tiers as well, whereas usually they used to be way behind because they spent their times playing 10s, which is obviously in custom lobbies or scrims. Now they're getting a chance to play League play and they're also grinding towards those tiers. So a lot more people are managing to keep up with the demand on keeping up with the tiers in order to get the 100 tiers within a certain allotted time. So that's really cool. Obviously, World League is continuing on as always. When I say World League, I mean rank play. But League play is out, and of course, everyone is taking full advantage of that. If you want to see my previous episode that I did cover on that, I did something entirely different to my usual After Action Report episodes with regards to Blackouts and the restricted playlists in South Africa. We had quads, then it's gone back to Hot Pursuit, which is obviously the limited time mode with the vehicles. I personally love that mode, but I've loved every mode so far in Blackout because I am a Blackout player. Finally grinded to level 70, so I'm working my way up towards that battle hardened and that first prestige in Blackout. We are probably due for a playlist update this evening. Hopefully they don't put us back into solos. I think they learned their lesson the last time they put us in solos for 5 weeks, so probably gonna go back to either quads or duos probably, but that'll only once again be until Tuesday, and then they bring back the quads or whatever else the case may be. But I do like that they are rotating that out. We have discussed this on the series several times before, but I do like that they started to rotate those playlists out a little quicker than previously. But that has been it for the game. Let us move on and let us chat about the scene. There is a ton going on in the scene in terms of the actual competitiveness. There's obviously always drama. I mean, it's COD Zade. We've got a new Twitter rant about something every day. From a competitive aspect, of course, I've been casting a ton, so make sure you are following me over on my Twitch channel. Firstly, just to chat about VS Gaming, their Cup 2 started this week and one will run through the duration of March. These are currently what the pools look like, so hey. Moving on to Mental State, those games should be coming to a close now in this next week, knowing that the pool games or the group games should be finishing on the 12th of March, so we can expect those finals and the semis and the final to happen shortly thereafter, and then they will kick off obviously into the second leg of the Smart Call Mental States Open and Pro Series. Obviously, people are going to be progressing into the Pro Series, and people with a bunch of roster changes and just wanting to jump in will be moving into the Open Series. So super stoked about those. If you are a COD Zade member, this is my plea that I do every week on stream as well as in the After Action Reports. If you're from COD Zade and you want me to stream your games, please let me know. My DMs are open on Twitter. I have been casting so much. Speaking of casting though, there is that Gamma LAN that will be happening on the 23rd of March in Johannesburg. I will be casting that event. I am looking forward to seeing a bunch of players play on LAN that weekend, but in the same breath, over the same weekend falling into the next weekend after or thereafter, there has been the ACGL Debonairs series that was announced. Now that is going to be played over 2 weekends from my understanding. I could be completely mistaken. I'm not an official ACGL representative, but from my brief understanding of reading through or glancing through that blog post, it's that it's going to be played over 2 weekends, the one being the weekend of the 23rd and the weekend thereafter, and bulk of the games happening over the Saturday and Sunday of the weekend of the 23rd. And unfortunately, that means that COD Zade, either the members have to choose if they want to go play the LAN or if they want to play the series, or if they're gonna even play, and I don't know, So that is a little bit of an unfortunate that there is a clash of scheduling, but I also did post this on Twitter and I did say that because there are so many tournament organizers in the mix now, I did honestly expect there to be a clash at some point. Sadly, it has come sooner than later than I expected. I expected it to come around the kind of June, July area where we're expecting to have EGE, although that's an entire different story for an entirely different day. That is all of the stuff going on in the scene. Make sure, once again, if you want me to cast your games, DMs are open, let me know. I have been putting in the hours to cast as much Call of Duty as possible. Just a note, because this is obviously going out on Friday morning, the 8th of March, in that I will not be able to cast games this weekend. I did post about this as well, but I actually have something really cool happening this weekend that I am not allowed to disclose right now and as of yet, but I will post about it on Twitter. But I am off to Durban for the weekend to do some really cool stuff, so make sure you're following me on Twitter to find out what I'm up to. Let us move on to the meta. So let's chat about gentlemen's agreements. I know I've mentioned this both on stream as well as in previous episodes, and I feel like gentlemen's agreements are always up in the air because it's always based off of what is announced on Twitter, what we read on Reddit, and obviously what the pros are talking about. So sometimes stuff can get up in the air, and some people think that something is G8, then it gets un-G8, and people are all confused and no one knows what's going on. Like there was that whole Stock 2 debacle. But now I did see that the Annihilator got G8, but now people are saying that it's been un-G8 because the Annihilator received a nerf. So if you have any insights into this, please drop it in the comments below so that there can be a discussion about it. But I honestly, I haven't been following Twitter close enough this week to be able to pass a actual opinion or comments about it. Then of course the CWL did drop an official rule set update, so now where gentlemen's agreements and GAs won't get you forfeited, people are just not gonna like playing with you because it's not against the rules, but it just makes you a bad person for playing with them. Basically that's what the gentleman's agreement comes down to. But obviously the rule set update, that stuff will get you forfeited. Like that stuff you're not allowed to use. They have restricted all of the AI controlled streaks as well as stuff like the Seeker drone. So fortunately, those no longer in play, which has allowed the gunship to come in as the 3rd tier streak. And obviously we did see the gunship get called in during the Pro League, but also getting a gunship doesn't necessarily guarantee you a round win or a series win or a map win. Whereas I had it, I witnessed it in COD ZA earlier in the week. I actually happened to be solo casting at the time, but a team brought in a gunship and they still lost the control. So, I don't know, not necessarily gonna guarantee you a win, but regardless, I am enjoying seeing people go on those killing sprees in order to get enough points towards that gunship. Then I know that Zero has now been included into the competitive rule set, whereas I saw mixed reviews about how people felt about this. People are stoked about having an EMP finally, but in the same breath, she can hack people. Now, because there's no AI controlled streaks, she fortunately doesn't gain control over those, but she can destroy things like your trophy systems. And the biggest thing for me, I feel, and a lot of people were saying, is that she can hack into your systems, and that'll not only disrupt your minimap for 30 seconds or how long it is, but that'll stop you from being able to use your heads-up display. You won't be able to heal, you won't be able to bring in your specialists, you won't be able to bring in your equipment. So that's a big thing. It will make or break what's happening in either rotations or in an S&D. You never know. So I think a lot of people were also asking, but why bring in Zero and not bring in Outrider just yet? I feel like Zero's been out in like the wild for long enough for them to playtest and figure it out and get opinions and then bring it into the rule set, whereas Outrider's just been released with the Grand Heist update. So I feel like she just needs a little bit more playtesting, if I can use that term, or for lack of a better term at least, and then she'll probably come into the rule set eventually as well. I don't see why not. I know a lot of people have been asking for her bow and arrow, but in the same breath, that stupid beeping thing, oh my god, like you can drive it somewhere and then you can just leave it there. So whether or not that'll be included or not, I don't know. It is a little bit OP in my opinion when it comes to like competitive. Pubs, it's fine, but competitive, I don't know. Let me know your opinions on that below. That has been the episode. I do appreciate all the love that has been coming through on my Twitch streams recently with all of the casting that I have been doing. I've cast a lot of games in the last 2 weeks and I plan to cast a lot more, obviously off to Durban this weekend for some stuff, so no casting happening there. But besides the point, that is going to be it for the episode. If you did enjoy, as always, please make sure to leave that like, subscribe if you are new to the channel. I hope you're playing as close to zero ping as possible, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Cheers!